I'll remember to do all this basic stuff one of these days. Oh my god. I wasn't expecting for that to happen. Hey guys, I'm Artifacts and welcome back to From the Depths. Now, as we head back into the designer here, I want to let you guys know something because I kind of made a bit of a mistake on the names of the cargo ships. Now, the name Lifeline originally came from me getting confused about the medic ships and the cargo ships. I'm not even kidding, because when I came with the name Lifeline, I was thinking support, much like, say, like the medic ship would have. So I kind of got the names confused, but I will be using Lifeline for one of the medic ships that we're going to be building. And currently right now, these are the names for the 3 cargo ships that we currently have, starting with Box, which we are going to be possibly finishing up this episode, Crate, which is the one that we finished up last episode, and we also have Safe, which is the first one that we built. I know that the size difference can vary because you can get crates bigger than safes, so you can get safes bigger than crates, but the general idea of this is that what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of a safe? Something big like in a bank. I should name it Vault. You know what? I'm gonna go do that. There you go, the safe is gone and now we have the Vault. Yeah, that does sound a lot better than a safe. Because, like I was saying, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of safe? Something big. Well, yeah, I think Vault is going to fit this a lot better than what safe would. But now, let's head back and let's continue building up this, well, I can't really say big boy in this case, because, well, it's not exactly big. It's freaking tiny as hell. And now I'm going to try and come up with a way on how to install the thrusters on this, which this might be a bit more difficult than what it was with the other ships, because the other ones have a larger surface area. Though, if I do the same thing as we did with the crate, we should be fine. We would be fine if I had the friggin' mirror aligned. God damn it. And I forgot this one is odd width, not even width. There we go. Now, this one, like I said, we should be able to finish this one at this episode because, yeah, this one is friggin' tiny. Now, one thing I want to talk about real quick is that I received a comment about like having the thrusters exposed. I did that a bit intentionally because if I were to armor up the thrusters like I did with the other combat vehicles, I feel that I have a bit too much like strength, because like these are going to be in the back of the group to begin with anyway, providing support to supply resources to the various different crafts. And I did these wrong. These are supposed to go on the friggin' nacelles, and I'm gonna be adding these are going to be like in the back out of harm's way to begin with. Yeah, this is gonna be friggin' tiny as hell. This might actually work, which is kind of surprising, not gonna lie. But yeah, like I was saying, like these crafts are gonna be in the back, so they're gonna be mainly out of harm's way anyway. And since these just serve the role of like providing resources to the other crafts, I mean, sure, it might be a bit of an oversight to include extra defense, but since these don't actively take part in combat much like the other ships do, for me it would just be mainly just an honest waste of resources, because all these ships are designed to fill certain roles. You have the main combat ships, you have the cargo ships here, which are made to bring in resources for the main combat ships as they take down enemies, and then you have the medic ships that are designed to repair any damaged aircraft. So like I said, like each craft have their own role to fill, and I feel like if I built one of them up too much, I would feel that they would be a bit too powerful for what they're made to do. And plus, like having these like a bit weak, it kind of brings a little bit of extra tension to the game, because like it's not like bringing in completely wooden vehicles against, say, something like the Scarlet Dawn. And besides, like, these have lightweight alloy and wood, so they're not completely fragile. And if one of these does happen to get shot down, it's not really that big of a deal. Because, I mean, sure, this is vital for supplying resources to the other aircraft, but these are mainly the secondary source of giving resources to the aircraft. Because the main source, resource zones and enemy outposts. Now, I'm gonna find it funny if this single thruster can actually get this thing to fly. I'm not gonna lie, I will actually laugh. And I'll get back to you guys here in a second once everything is done. And once I remember to add rolling thrusters. Oh god. And I think this one is going to be the most difficult to add rolling thrusters to because it's so small. Because like where we need one up and one down thruster, that might prove to be a little bit tricky. But I came up with a way that might actually work. Where's the output? Where's the output of this damn thruster? Are you freaking kidding me? It was facing the back this whole entire time? For freak's sake. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Now, normally I would have these squat together much like I do on the crate. But the thing is, with this is odd width, I can't exactly do that. Okay, let's see how this is looking. Oh, I don't have an AI. I'll remember to do all this basic stuff one of these days. And we actually have a perfect spot for it right here. Here we go. I was originally going to put them here, but I was thinking like, well, this is like really small to begin with, and I didn't want to put them in the back just in case we happen to get shot in the back. And I don't want to put them too far forward because it just makes them more vulnerable than what they already are. Okay, now that the AI stuff is put into its proper place, I just literally just moved it a couple of blocks back. Now let's put in all the usual gobbledygook, and I'll get you guys here in a minute and see how well this flies. Okay, time to give this a shot. Give me a minute. Okay, now let's see how this... Ooh, wow. Oh my god. I wasn't expecting for that to happen. Okay, how are we doing for battery power here? Okay, so we're actually fully charged and we actually do have a little bit of engine power left over. Yeah, we're not actually dropping, which is nice. Though we're a little bit crooked. Oh, do I have these set up correctly? No, I don't. I think this is looking a lot better. What do you guys think? No, it seems like it's tipping a little bit towards the front there. I might fill with these thrusters a little bit. No, weird thing is, oh, I think it might be because of these. Yeah, it seems like it's the thrust here I got in the back, so that's an easy thing to fix. Well, that fixed it. And this does dip down a small bit. It does slowly fall, but I mean, a 10-meter deviance is not bad. And plus, if an enemy does happen to try to take a shot at this, it gives it a bit of a chance of being able to dodge a shot. I'm pretty satisfied with this. It's sort of just a smaller, more stubbier version of the crate. It's like I said, mentioned in a previous episode, I do like small things, and this is honestly ticking all those boxes. Now, time for something a little bit more complicated. It's time to start building the last ship of the fleet, the medic ships. I have no idea how this is gonna go. I just spawned in the Dreadnought here real quick as I'm getting some inspiration, and this thing, especially compared to what we just built. I mean, I know this is like the late game build. Jesus. I'm not gonna get over just how freaking big I had to make this. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. But one thing you guys might remember, I mentioned in a previous episode, of this kind of reminds me of like an aircraft airstrip. This is where my inspiration is kicking in. I'm gonna try something here and I'm gonna see how well it goes. Okay guys, this is the slab that I took off of the Dreadnought near the back where the rear thrusters are. And this is what I'm going to be using basically basically for the baseline for my idea, because even though this is odd width, I'll be able to easily make this even width. But my general idea is to make an aircraft carrier, and the idea originally stems from this piece as on back of the Dreadnought, but also you guys might remember a little aircraft called the Duster Marine that we had there during the last playthrough. Kind of thinking of integrating those guys into it, because as you guys don't remember, I do like those ships quite a bit, so I might try and integrate those into this build and see how that goes. And basically the idea of this is there will be a mothership as well as the little ships that is going to be doing the repairing, instead of just having like a big main ship going around doing the repairing, because I kind of figured that it'd just be like a bit odd to like, oh, here's a big ship that's just going around and repairing everybody. I think it would be just generally a bit more interesting if we had little aircraft flying around repairing everything. I don't know, I just seem to like that idea more. Now, this will only summon these little aircraft after a fight is over. That's just to make the fights fair. Because if I have the aircraft spawn in during a fight, then that sort of gives the enemy ship a bit of a disadvantage, because I can be like, oh, I can just repair myself on the fly and just completely have this fight one-sided, and that's not what I want to do. Because as I mentioned in a previous episode, I do want to make this into a fair fight for both me and the enemy team, because I generally feel if I did go down the route of having the repair craft out all the time, I would generally just feel like I'm cheesing it, because I can do something that the enemy fleets can't. Now, the actual runway itself is going to be a lot bigger than this, and I'm going to be using a material for this that I haven't used anything else. I'm going to be using rubber for the top layer of this. Now, you guys are probably wondering, why rubber? A couple of reasons. One, it not only has EMP protection, but if memory serves me correctly, I'm not sure if this has been changed or not, but I do remember rubber being able to protect things from damage. Now, I don't quite remember if they negate damage completely, but I think they at least reduce the amount of damage that something receives on impact, and that's what I want, because when the aircraft flies off and returns to this, the last thing I want is then to be damaged, because that'll kind of defeat the whole purpose. Now, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. Ooh, I just came with an idea, because I was just thinking of those aircraft ramps that you see, say like on aircraft carriers or something, the ones that gradually slope down as the aircraft goes take off, and that honestly looks better. Oh, I just came with a really cool idea. I'm gonna try this out, see if I can pull this off. Okay, now I do have a Duster Marine saved in here. In order for me to get him, I had to spawn in a Falkenheim, because that spawns in with the Duster Marines. Now, my plan for this is having 2 Duster Marines for each of these runways on either side, so they'll be front to back from one another. So there'll be one right here, another one say right here somewhere. The reason why I saved them, so I can get a general idea of the size that they are. And give me a moment, I'm actually going to spawn one in here so we can actually do that. And off he goes. God, I love that little plane. That's honestly one of my favorite builds from Deepwater Guard. It's just a little tiny little plane, because that will give me a rough idea of just how big. Okay, so these are 10 blocks long. Wow, these are not really all that big. Now guys, there's something that I want to quickly address. Some of you guys might say that I'm stealing another design, which I am and I ain't. Because I do plan on getting one of these little guys in here anyway, and I'm not going to be using just the stock form of it. I'm actually going to be using the modified version that I made back with the previous campaign that we did. So this won't have the fuel engines into it. This instead will be running by RTGs. All the wood will be replaced with lightweight alloy, because the previous design that I had of this is gone. Because when I swapped computers, because all of my previous builds disappeared, and sadly this one was one of them. So everything that was done with the Dusty Marine that I had before will be done exactly the same way again. Now, one thing I'm going to plot out here right now. Okay, so this is actually enough room here. Okay, so we got 3 blocks. I think that will work, because if we have another tractor beam right here, I honestly think that will work. Now this is going to need to be set down a little bit, probably around right here, just to keep it safe and just so the plane doesn't end up colliding into it. And I'm going to get all this properly squared away. And one thing I'd like to mention about this, I was planning on getting a Dusty Marine from the campaign anyway, but I went into modifying it to how I had the previous one to begin with. So whether I take one now or I get one later from the campaign, though, that's one thing I might do. I might wait until Falkenheim appears and get one then. So, well, watch yourself there. I'm going to be putting on repair tentacles on those guys. I'm going to be using the compact ones. And those are not going to have any weapons. Because, well, these are support crafts. Ergo, support crafts don't have weapons. And now I'm going to continue building this a little bit. I just realized I've been using metal beams the whole time. Shit. Give me a moment while I literally replace everything with lightweight alloy. There we go. Got all this properly replaced. And I think this is how thick I'm going to have this. Because I don't want to have this too thick, and I think what I'm gonna have is I might have like the main deck right here, like at this level, so it'll be like a layer of rubber where the runway is. So this here is essentially the bottom. I think for this layer right here, I think this is where the thrusters and that and everything is going to go if I don't end up putting them in this layer. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the thrusters down here in this layer, so it'll be a couple layers of lightweight alloy. And then as we get smaller, I'm going to put some wood into this. Now to see if we can get this mapped out here and get a second one put in. This is my general idea. Now, I might make this wider yet. I'm not 100% sure. But basically, I think this is how I'm going to have this laid out, like with the 2 runways in the front here, and back here I'm going to have the main body and stuff, because like I wasn't quite sure originally of like how I was going to pull off a design of this, but after having another look at the back section of the Dreadnought, that's when I came with this idea, and I was like, this might actually work. And I think I came with a way that might look cool with this. Now, I think the tail fin of this is either going to be resting here or here. So one thing I might do is have like a rubber rest. There we go. So that way, if the tail of the aircraft does rest on this, at least have a more safer spot for it to rest its tail on, because I don't exactly want that to break just because it's sitting in its resting spot. I like that. Yeah, I think I can get along with that. Ooh. Okay, the more I look at this, honestly, the more I like it. But one thing I might do, I might widen it, because this is just the front aircraft section. This isn't the full size of it. And the reason why I might just use a maximum of 4 aircraft is because there's the 5 main aircraft as well as the cargo ship. And I don't exactly want to put in too many repair crafts all at once, because if I put in like 1 for each of them, then they'll just get repaired really quickly. And since it's going to be a repair tentacle on each one of these to begin with anyway, it honestly just seems kind of pointless. Though, like I said, I might actually change the width of this if this becomes too skinny, because I do want to give these ships a good size, not only in terms of length but in terms of width. Because one thing that I learned, like, when you're building an aircraft that has shape, you don't exactly want to build it either too skinny or too stubby, unless that's the particular design type that you're looking for. But I don't generally want to build something stubby, because it honestly just looks weird. Though in some circumstances, like I said, that will work, just not for what I'm building here. And I like that bit of shape there. Now, I think one thing I might do, I might put these back right here. Yeah, now that's just to repair the actual repair vehicles themselves, like in case they happen to take damage. So they can come back, get repaired, and then when the next fight comes, boom. Now, I'm not sure if we can actually toggle these on or off. Repair blocks of other vehicles cannot repair blocks on this vehicle. Good, that's actually what I want. Because like, not even this ship will have repair bots on it. I'm going complete repair bot free here, damn it. Like literally, not a single craft in this whole fleet will have a repair bot on it. Why? I don't want to potentially give myself an unintentional advantage. And I feel like adding repair bots will give me that sort of thing. Okay, I'm literally just thinking of this as I go along. This is true thinking on the fly here. When you're literally just thinking of like, okay, exactly how am I going to do this in real time? I mean, I'm not sure if that's like a prime display of intelligence or stupidity. I suppose it just generally depends on what way you look at it. Okay, I think this is looking pretty good. I'm actually kind of liking that. I'm not gonna lie. Though it is looking a little small. But one thing I might do is when I get this finished, I'll compare the price of it to the cargo ship and the missile fleet that they're tied to, and that'll help me determine where these medic ships are meant to be going. Now, I'm going to try and do something here that I honestly haven't tried before. Now, I don't know how this is going to work, but hey, this is all about experimenting, and just hope this thing doesn't become too heavy or too expensive. And for this, I'm going to be using something that I honestly never used before. Ladders. Because when it comes to getting from one place to another, I always just use stairs. But I think in this instance, ladders will work rather well. And I'm honestly kind of liking the look of this already. This is starting to look really cool. And I think back here, I might have a section built out. I think this is where like the main bulk of the ship is going to be going, like with the engine room, the bridge, and other stuff like that. I think that's where all that's going to be going. But like I said, I am liking this so far. But I want to let you guys know something. This is subject to change. Like as I get new ideas, there's a good chance that the design of this, I can't say it won't change completely, but it would at least be heavily modified, because I want to make sure that all of this is looking correctly instead of leave me with the feeling like, oh, I done goofed this, because like that would just leave me with the usual, wow, I'm an idiot, oops, I think I pressed a button I wasn't supposed to. Wait, how do I turn that off? Oh god damn it. Oh, there we go. It was forward slash or backslash, the button next to the Z key. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this time, guys. So raise the like button from the depths if you guys enjoyed, subscribe, ring a bell if you guys want to see more stuff like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Later, guys. Now, if this one does wind up being the most expensive one, the name Lifeline will certainly make a return, and I just realized I'm building this whole damn thing backwards. How the hell did I not notice that until now? God damn it.